If you're not jealous, please put your hands together for her.
Thank you. Uncle. What will you do if your circumstances told you you can't, but your purpose kept whispering that you can? I want you to take a moment to think about this. Not just as a nice quote for your Instagram caption, but in the moment when all the odds are against you, when it's easier to stop than to keep going. What then? As I walk onto this stage in my beautiful Al-Kibba, it doesn't only signify the traditional clothing. It is a visual representation of my identity, heritage, and the responsibility I carry. It tells a silent story even before I speak. So, the real story doesn't begin with the dress but the name Sarauniyyah, a name which was not given to me at birth, nor in a naming ceremony. A few years ago, my classmates do call me Sarauniyyah, for them, a queen, but not someone who lives in the palace or wears a crown. For them, they call me a queen because of my nurturing and caring attitude. Little did I know. And in 2019, when I was a student at Ahmadu University, Zaria, battling between academics and humanitarian services, which came as a result of a woman I met on a fateful day. She was often a shadow in my door, but little did I know that the situation was so vigorous that no one could comprehend what she is really going through. Often, she comes to my home. She asks for assistance, almost every day with different complaints. What to eat, children's health, complaining every now and then. Today I want to talk to you about a simple idea, yet so much profound that I need to speak on it. Purpose over circumstance. That woman came in that fateful day, but that was when I noticed her. Because for me, my life was so neat that all I wanted was to graduate, get a job, and make a difference. There is a popular saying that life happens when you are busy making other plans. Because I was seeing the bigger picture of the world, not knowing that I was missing the little details. And that was what happened. Among was that woman that always knocks on our door. She came in that same day, and it was the same story. Which meant there was something she wasn't speaking about. As she left, I followed her back home. Her community is just miles away from mine, but the situation was totally different. Going to that community, things I saw were things I wish I can unsee today. The walls was completely cracked up. Everything that was gotten was used to mold. I couldn't imagine that a rock was used as a door shield to keep her away from the world. Talking about the inside, there was completely nothing, no proper bedding. The floor was bare earth. And I imagined, are people really living this way? Then, poverty and hardship was not a topic as it is today. And I wondered, because all I saw was trembling children crying in hunger silently, no one is hearing. I stood for a moment. That moment was a moment of realization that I think, are really people surviving this way? Because for me, that was not living, that was surviving. And it happens. I left back home. That night, I couldn't sleep. That sleepless night gave me time to think of how these people are surviving every day. Yet, they smile. During the week, I placed some calls to people I know could be of help. And of course, that was what happened. Some people showed with their presence while others gave their time. Some people gave financial donations and we went back to the same community. But that was not a sustainable plan because that can only change life for a little moment. I felt the need and compelled to act, which I did. I asked her, "What are you good at?" She said, "I used to be a tailor before this time." We got her a tailoring machine, and years later when I met that same woman, she told me something that still sticks with me till date. She said, and I will quote, "You didn't just give me a tailoring machine, but you gave me my pride back. For now, I can send my children back to school and I can have a complete meal for the day." Little did I know, the Sarauniyyah name they called me was becoming a movement silently. Those people I called, they now became team members because I felt they are having that passion and compassion to help people. In that same community, I met a 14-year-old girl who was a dropout of school. Her dream was to be a doctor. But her family cannot afford to keep her in school because of the financial constraint. We also felt the need to act, which we did. We took her back to school, and today, her dreams are still valid of becoming a doctor. In that same community, I know of Sadiq. He was a drug addict. But after rehabilitation, he came back to the community with nothing to do at hand. And I fear for his tomorrow, which we trained him, and that became a source of empowerment for him because Sadiq is a carpenter now doing absolutely well. In that same community, I met a widow with 3 kids who could hardly have a complete meal for the day. But I asked her, "What are you good at?" She said, "Nothing." Still, I felt the need and compelled to act, which I did. With those initiatives that we do 1, 2, 3 among the community, that became a movement of people that wants to help the poor and the vulnerable ones among us. But surprisingly enough, when we go to other communities, people chase us. Not because they don't want what we have to bring and offer, but because they fear we were beneficiaries of corruption. They fear some people are sponsoring this because they never believe that youth can be agent of change and youth can do something very good like this. Believe me, we changed the narrative. So in 2019, in order to formalize and gain trust of the people, we registered it as Sarauniyyah Aid Foundation.